Whoever a wolf imprints on can't be harmed. It's their most absolute law.
Wow.
Welcome to Guilty Pleasure!
Oh my God.
It's time for Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Part 1. We're doing this during the day, baby. There's daylight.
This is crazy.
We're breaking dawn.
We're breaking dawn
it's
literally.
6 a.m.
For the first time.
We've broke dawn.
I can't tell you the shock that I felt when I found out that there were not one but two more Twilight movies waiting for us.
Yeah, because when you were like, we have the last Twilight, I was like, oh, he doesn't know.
Oh, he doesn't know. There's a part 1 and a part 2.
He doesn't know. Because you didn't read the books, eh?
No, of course I didn't.
No.
Also, when did you turn Canadian on us?
Yeah, he was never a
First of
budding
all-
child, a budding little girl.
Okay, I've always said A, even before I started fucking a Canadian. Second,
I don't know. That's new.
check it out.
It's
Go to
new.
the archives.
Okay.
I just want to give Twilight its moment in time for a second because even I'm guilty of this for shitting on this movie, right?
Yeah.
Like for making fun of it, whatever. I know. I just realized there's
something in
giant
between.
microphone in between us.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
Kelsey's
couldn't see
face
your
was
face.
fully blocked,
Yeah.
as you were.
And now, you know what? The girlies, they fucking love their fairy smut. We love our ACOTAR, our fourth wing. Like,
It's crazy how much this has come back in style and is now the epicenter of culture. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You think it's ahead of its time? You don't think that culture is cyclical? Why not that one?
no, yes, but like we dog on this movie so hard, and yet ACOTAR or Fourth Wing is going to come out with an HBO miniseries like Game of Thrones, and we're all going to be like, this is amazing cinema.
Yeah.
But this,
Interesting. Yeah,
But
it's a fair
even
point.
I feel like when Twilight came out, nobody was like, this is amazing cinema. You're just like, this is I finally get to see my dreams come to life.
ahead of its time, I think.
Some quick housekeeping before we dive into this episode. This is a live to tape episode. We are not editing this at all, which you might say, is that normally not true? We do edit because
A lot. Apparently.
Yeah,
I found
apparently a
out.
lot. Yeah.
I start over a lot.
Kelsey is inappropriate.
Kelsey is inappropriate.
Zach then
I
also is
stumble.
inappropriate.
Garrett gets angry.
I get angry, and I like every edit that you hear of me is me just stomping on the floor,
Or you
and
going
hitting
on
my face.
rants
Going on
about
rant.
not this movie.
Not
Anime.
this movie at all. About
Yeah.
anime and about the industry as a whole. Please
Yeah.
continue.
So Garrick had his wisdom teeth taken out.
Yeah,
So we delayed our recording a little bit. Anyway, we want to not skip a week. If you missed the announcement last week, we're in our final season here.
yeah.
Which is not us just throwing all shit out the window. We're not like, fuck it, we're going live
Yeah,
because
we're
we're
going live,
ending.
yeah.
Burn
No
it to the
editing.
ground.
Yeah.
But people have been asking, they're like, guys, are you serious about that? Like seriously? And this came to a head this week because I don't know if you saw that the trailer for Shrek 5 dropped.
Yeah. Yeah. And it really does hurt my feelings that we will not be able to do that.
Oh, Garrick, you think we're not going to do it?
We're gonna come back and do it. We gotta come
We
back
got to
and do
come
it,
back
right?
and do it.
I'm like, the ideas are percolating, and I don't know if I should. Okay, I'm just gonna
Tease it.
I'm gonna say it.
Just say it.
Just say it.
We'll see you in person.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
I just got, sorry, I'm going to be
Chills.
appropriate. Chills.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is a good system.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to almost say what I normally say, and then
And
you
I'll
fill me
jump
in.
in. Chills.
Save us.
Yeah.
Save us the edit. You're
Because
welcome.
Shrek 5, you better believe we got to talk about it. Also, I don't know if you saw the discussion this week. I know this is a Twilight episode, but so Zendaya
Yeah.
is playing Shrek's daughter.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Did you not know this?
I don't know
Love
any
it.
of this.
Had a tweet a long time ago saying, I've watched Shrek an uncomfortable amount of times in my
Wow.
adulthood.
We
and
knew
she
we
just
loved
spoke it
her.
to life.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that she wanted it. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
She
It's
she
amazing.
was like, I'm at that place now where I can say these things and get the things I want.
Yeah. No,
Hell
no, no.
yeah.
This was a while ago
Wow.
that she tweeted this.
Wow.
But the people are there's some concern that Shrek's gone woke.
Why?
Because this is my favorite thing that I saw on the internet this week is that so Shrek's daughter, played by Zendaya, has brown eyes.
uh-huh.
And then they showed Shrek's children in the first couple movies, and Shrek has two sons and a daughter,
Uh-huh.
and the daughter has blue eyes, and the two sons have brown eyes.
Oh,
so now
no.
there is a fan
Oh,
theory
Jesus.
that this is Shrek's trans daughter, which we fully support, and I will refuse any other reading of
Yeah.
the movie.
How do we not
Yeah.
know what ogres like? We don't know what the life cycle looks like of
right.
ogres.
We don't know that their eyes could change
Yeah.
under a certain sunlight or some shit like that.
Magic.
What the fuck?
We do know, and that is Shrek's trans daughter. That's canon.
Okay, there
Okay,
it is.
we named it
well,
here.
Fuck it.
Speaking of children,
Let's do it.
Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Part
Oh my God, I have to
1.
give, because last week we did at the Oscars, so I didn't actually have to recap it. I forgot that that's part of the show. It's been so long.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have a log line?
Synopsis. Okay.
You got this.
We're not editing this episode.
How do you even encapsulate all that happens in Breaking Darn Part?
Bella Swan marries her high school sweetheart, Edward. But, Edward's a vampire, and if he has sex with her, it's gonna tear her apart.
Oh.
Shit. Fuck.
No, you're right.
You're
I know,
fine.
but we're not editing this.
You're
Okay.
doing fine.
No, I'm doing really well.
You got it.
But they do it, and it's magical. But she's now pregnant.
Whoops.
And they didn't even know that vampire on human pregnancy was possible.
Mm.
And there's some reason that we'll talk about that she didn't want to be a vampire yet because, I don't know, the sex wouldn't be as good or something. Anyway, now she's got a little demon vampire baby growing in her very fast, and it's killing her.
Whoopsies.
Is this an extended metaphor for abstinence?
Maybe.
Or is this just Twilight? It's
Twilight.
Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Wow.
We
And the
did
reason why is because if he turns, it's like a very excruciating process.
Right. She wanted to have her honeymoon first.
Yeah.
And she was desperate and excited to get deep down.
To get V'd down, baby.
To get V'd down.
Is that for vampire?
Yeah, that was for vampire D.
Yeah.
Also,
so she
I'm
wanted to wait until... Yeah, go for it. She wanted to wait until marriage
I'm sorry,
to have sex with him.
Yes, of course.
No, he did.
He wanted.
He
to
was
wait
the
until
one that
marriage.
was like, I shan't take you.
I shan't take
because
you.
I might kill you. Because I might rip you apart.
Basically, like
right.
So my favorite scene of the movie.
So he was just cool with ripping his wife apart and not his girlfriend.
Yes.
No. Because if she's a vampire, then she can handle it.
Yeah, but she wasn't a vampire when they first boned.
Exactly. Yeah. But so Jacob comes to the wedding and is like, you're gonna have a sex-filled honeymoon before you turn her. You're gonna kill her.
Yeah.
And Edward's like, no.
I'm chill
and he doesn't
now.
want to do it, but Bella's basically like, you promised that you would try.
Yeah.
And so he's like going to, I think it's like meant to be hot.
It's meant to be romantic that I'm so horny for you, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And that I'm able to withhold my
beastly
insane,
nature.
Beastly urges.
Yeah.
I mean, the best, I'm skipping forward here, but the best part of the movie by far is when they're having sex for the first time and he like, his hand goes on the headboard and rips it apart.
Rips the headboard in half.
I'm not gonna lie, when you told us in the group chat earlier that this was gonna be a live episode, I go, this is the one where they fuck, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you expect me to keep it normal.
Pretty consistent.
When we're talking about how ridiculous this is.
I also don't love that they were good at it immediately.
Because no one is.
Unrealistic.
Yeah, very unrealistic. I don't know what your body is. I don't know what you got going on down there. And now you're also... I have to do interspecies sex. That's weird.
They needed a little bit more foreplay in my opinion.
They needed more foreplay.
A little more awkward bump.
You remember in Forgetting Sarah Marshall as I do a rant about another movie that is usually edited out?
Go on.
In Forgetting Sarah Marshall, there's a virgin couple that is there and they're having a honeymoon.
So good.
And it's such a good Jack Breyer and
Ellie Kempner, right?
Yeah.
No, not Ellie Kempner.
It's not?
No, it's
I would have put money that it was her.
I would have put money on that also, but I just remembered it is not her. But Jack McBrayer's character cannot get his fiance off at all, and they don't know what they're doing. He doesn't know what hole to put it in. And the entire C runner of that movie is them trying to figure out how to have sex with each other, and they finally do, and it's very funny.
And that's real.
It's real, and that's what I feel like is most people's one night stand interactions.
But they had to make this one. This one we're at the third, fourth movie. What movie is this?
What?
Yeah,
no fourth movie. This is Eclipse. No, there's Twilight.
The fact
Eclipse,
that you both know this.
New Moon.
Breaking Dawn.
I am shocked right now that you did that.
And by the way,
so proud.
I also like fully forget movements of the other movies because there was a flashback to the Volturi and she like freaked out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, what's going on with those bitches?
Like what's going on? They're in Italy.
Wait till you see this.
And then our girl, one of the Fanning sisters is in here.
Elle.
But she wasn't in this movie.
No, but just relax. Okay.
I'm very relaxed.
Because they needed to, they couldn't just be the big bad villain, like crazy opposition as the wolves. That was too small town nuts.
Yeah.
They had to go Vatican, baby. They had to go full, what was that movie we love? Conclave.
Conclave.
They had to bring it in conclave style, and it gets crazy. Yeah. We're doing the next one, right?
Yeah, we have to.
Okay, good.
And what I've been told is that this is the foreplay.
Yes.
Everyone at the second try office is like, oh, just you wait.
You have no idea.
Wait until it finishes you off.
You think this is
fucking...
And this one was like, this one is the palate pleaser, I would say.
Oh, this is the ginger before the sushi.
Yes, this is like it's tasty. It's like I've been waiting.
I wouldn't call ginger tasty, but sure.
Are you kidding?
Oh, I love
just
ginger.
I love
handful.
it. It's a lot. It's a palate cleanser for a reason, I feel like.
No, I'm embarrassed by how much ginger. They always go like, do you want one more?
And I'm like another plate.
And then they bring me another, and then they're like, you want one more? I'm like, no.
No.
They're like, okay.
It's good for the tum-tum.
It's very funny that every time you ask for ginger, they just give you an entire plate.
Yeah.
A sloppy plate. It's just like, fucking take it. Jesus Christ. Anyway, please
give me
continue.
more. The audience at this point has been waiting for this wedding. We have been waiting for this love scene. We have been waiting. There's so much that we're satiated, and we're satiated early.
Yeah,
like we open on the wedding.
Yeah, which makes me... I think that was a really smart thing to do because they've been teasing it for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
They've been teasing their love for a long time. And so I was like, once she had the vision of like the bodies on bodies and whatnot, and I was like, okay, what was it?
Kind of sick.
It was sick. It was a sick vision. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Right.
That's
covered in blood in your wedding dress.
Dressing.
All right, kind of sick.
You got it. But it was very cool because I thought that the whole movie was just going to be them trying to not do the wedding. Then it was just going to get to the end of the movie, and then they finally do the wedding, and then they're just like, oh, okay, cool. So this was an up and back. Great. Love it.
I'm going to say something brave here.
Yeah.
This and Crazy Rich Asians, two best wedding scenes I've ever seen in a movie in my entire life.
It is a gorgeous
emotional
really
wedding.
Nice.
We get I found you fly. We got that, and then we get the other one that I can't remember.
their fucking hardcore making out, and the whole audience disappears, and it's just them tonguing each other
down from the ceiling. I couldn't imagine that there's not bugs in that. I'd be like, oh,
especially like just in in the woods of Seattle.
In the woods.
Yeah.
Deep wood. It's wet out there.
It's wet out there.
It's really
moldy.
pretty. Yeah. The vampires are like carrying full logs to make the aisle.
Yeah.
I also, actually before the wedding though, because we get two weddings.
Yeah.
We get the wedding and you get the dream wedding that Garrick referred to.
Yeah.
And that one's like all white, very pristine. Oh, still pretty, but a little more boring. And it's the dream sequence, and she's going down the aisle, and she turns, and the first face she sees is a close-up of Anna Kendrick.
Yeah.
And I burst out laughing because I fully forgot. It's like, oh, poor Anna signed on for 5 movies.
Yeah.
And she's way bigger at this point, but she has to do it.
Yeah.
It's the first act of this movie, like from a storytelling perspective, nothing happens. There's no conflict. But it feels like almost a reunion special.
Yeah.
Like a TV episode.
Okay.
Yes. It's for the fans.
And I wish I could go back in time and see it with an audience, because there's this like stand-up comedy routine of everyone doing their toasts that to me fell flatter than anything I've ever seen.
Flatter than my chest.
Flatter than Kelsey's chest. But I know that in the theater,
it was a riot.
that was showtime at the Apollo.
Yeah. They were like, this is the best night of my life. Everybody is so funny. When did they make Twilight hilarious?
It's a comedy montage.
Yeah.
This is Anna Kendrick doing her bridesmaid speech is on par to this audience with Bernie Mac's icon.
Yeah. I'm not scared of you.
I'm not scared of you.
I'm not scared of you, motherfuckers.
It was so good watching that, knowing that must have killed.
Yeah, and it was very funny to remember that Anna Kendrick was an asshole. Like she's the she's the mean girl.
The frenemy
in this. And I was like, oh fuck, okay.
Yeah.
I thought she was like this.
Everyone's
sweetheart.
doing themselves perfectly. Like Anna's doing frenemy. Alice is obsessed with the love.
Right.
Rose, whatever her name is like, nose up. Emmett's like big dumb like everyone is just being the most them in the most heightened
And
situation.
Then also, a bunch of guys a bunch of vampires love jumping into windows and saying like, I'm gonna fucking take them away to our bachelor party.
I would have done a whole movie of a bachelor party.
Yeah,
a vampire bachelor party?
Vampire bachelor.
That sounds amazing.
I was so excited when they talked about that. We're taking Edward to his bachelor party. I'm like, these cutaways are gonna fucking rip.
Yeah.
We're gonna get more Twilight baseball.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it would just play baseball the whole time.
When you think about fast food, you're probably thinking about unhealthy, thawed-out patties dripping with grease. But when you're on a tight schedule and you need to save time, you may not have another option. You need food that's fast. If this sounds familiar, you gotta check out Tempo. Tempo can provide you with protein-packed fuel to save time without compromising your health goals. Tempo is your weekly delivery service that delivers chef-crafted meals from a dietitian-approved menu fresh to your door. Tempo serves up fast, feel-good, single-serving meals that are crafted to cook in just 3 minutes. Tempo's perfectly portioned lunches and dinners take the guesswork out of eating well, are fully prepared, and can be heated in the microwave in just 3 minutes. They offer a variety of meals for different dietary and taste preferences. You know I need that, including protein-packed, calorie-conscious, carb-conscious, and fiber-rich. For a limited time, Tempo is offering our listeners 60% off your first box. Go to tempomeals.com/guilty. That's tempomeals.com/guilty for 60% off your first box. tempomeals.com/guilty. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Imagine constantly having thoughts so disturbing and out of character that they paralyze you with fear and anxiety, and your entire existence feels like it's about trying to make them go away. What if I told you this experience I'm describing is about OCD? And as someone who lives with OCD, I can tell you it is not something to trivialize or joke about. OCD is a serious and highly misunderstood condition that causes people to get stuck in a cycle of stressful, unwanted thoughts and repetitive behaviors, which can become debilitating. These unwanted thoughts are called intrusive thoughts. They're usually disturbing and stressful, and they can be about anything. People with OCD often try to relieve the anxiety from those thoughts with repetitive physical or mental behaviors called compulsions. OCD is totally misunderstood and has a lot of stigmas. A lot of people don't know they have it, feel shame about their symptoms, and suffer in silence. Not every therapist understands OCD or is qualified to treat it effectively, which can make it difficult to find the right help. But the good news is OCD is highly treatable with a specialized type of therapy called ERP, or Exposure and Response Prevention. With NoCD, you can do live virtual ERP therapy with licensed therapists who specialize in ERP and OCD, so they truly understand what you're going through, even the symptoms that feel hard to talk about. NoCD makes this life-changing treatment affordable and accepts more than 60 insurance plans, enabling over 155 million Americans to access evidence-based treatment at NoCD covered by insurance. If you can relate to any of this, or if you want to help a loved one who's struggling, you can learn more by booking a free 15-minute call with NoCD. Just go to nocd.com to schedule your free call and get connected with someone who can help.
Just supermassive black hole every time we cut to him.
Oh
I would
my
have
God.
done an hour of that.
Yeah.
I would have loved, they did like a Hangover style movie with beings that don't go to sleep.
Oh, funny.
Or can't black out.
Oh, that's
like
funny.
that would have been great.
Hey, write it. You know, you're a writer.
No.
Okay.
No.
Go.
Pass.
Anything else on the wedding before? Oh, there is, honestly, there was a line that Edward said that I'm like, oh, that is kind of all-time romantic.
Was it
Touching.
in with all of the time that I have, not enough will be with you?
It's very close.
That was, I'm not going to lie, I cried a little when I
That
watched
got
this
you?
scene.
No measure of time with you will be long enough, but let's start with forever. That's a fucking
That's a
bar.
bar.
Garrick,
That's a
I will
bar.
pay you $700,000 to put that in your vows.
We'll pay for your wedding.
No.
Come on.
No.
You sneak enough Amelia and
She's read enough
yeah, she knows.
Twilight to where she'll be like, is that a line from Breaking Dawn?
Yeah.
Part one.
Part one.
But only we'll know, and that will be so like me. Us four would know,
That'd
and
be a
that's
good bit.
worth it.
That'll be a really good bit.
It was so romantical. Like it, you know, that bitches took pieces of this and put. You know, there is a swath of millennial girls who have "Flightless Bird" as their wedding song. B,
Flightless bird.
I found you flightless. Oh my God, this is like the song of TikTok. We got the most popular song of TikTok from this movie.
Wow.
I didn't know.
Lame.
You guys.
Damn.
I don't use the talk.
Oh,
No.
okay.
It's Chinese propaganda, Kelsey. Didn't you know?
They can have my info. We got
I'm kidding because we can't edit stuff. I'm kidding.
Oh, God.
We got so many
Follow me on
iconic
Red Note.
moments that I know a lot of people used in their actual weddings, I'm sure, that were fans of this movie. Hey, if you had something Twilight related in your wedding, comment down below.
Yeah.
I would love to know that.
I want to know who made a mistake. I want to know all of the mistakes that were put in people's weddings.
And then they look back and they're like, wow, I can't believe I modeled my speech after Edward Cullen's most iconic love line.
It's the vows version of a Harry Potter tattoo.
There it is.
Ugh. Oh, God.
I loved it. My favorite part of this movie was that.
Don't you have a Deathly Hallows tattoo?
First of all, fuck you.
Oh, sorry.
Just pointing at me with such assumption.
Don't you have a fucking Deathly Hallows?
No, motherfucker.
Okay, I'm sorry. You got a triangle.
You're looking at me. I do have a triangle, but that's for fire and water.
Okay, cool.
Let's talk about the main thrust of this movie.
Good one.
He is Bella gets to lose her virginity, and I would say there's a big stretch of this movie where
Nice.
Sorry. You said
that's come on now.
No, that is.
I'm sorry.
That's definitely.
I had no idea where you were going to go after big stretch.
Yeah.
You did it to yourself.
This movie is porn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is I don't know if it's hot porn, but there's a lot of sex.
There's a lot of sex in the movie.
There is and like
It is
softcore.
It gave us what we wanted.
You mean them playing chess in a montage?
Yeah.
But cut with fucking? We've been waiting for this.
Yeah,
the girlies were like, we want to see them ravage each other. And if he's not going to, unalive her while they fuck, then they better
that's
break
it.
the bed apart.
Yeah. There should be a cut of this movie that cuts to the 50 Shades of Grey sex scenes in between. And then have that in the montage of this whole situation.
I want to see the director's cut of this.
Yeah. What do you guys think about? I know we're going to talk a lot about Jacob coming up. This is the Jacob's movie in many ways.
Poor boy.
But the way that he is handsy with Bella on their wedding night,
Unacceptable.
I don't.
allowed.
If I were Edward, I don't think I would let that fly.
No.
He
was the whole I'm going to show you how strong I am. I'm going to pick you up
and twirl you around.
Twirl you
3 times.
He's like, can we dance? To nothing? To no music at all?
It's
weird.
This movie built the archetype for girls trying to find a guy that will fight their best straight guy friend because they love them so much. You know what I mean? Like, it gave us all unrealistic expectations that our best straight guy friend is supposed to be like mildly in love with us, but like a brother. And then like the guy we end up with should want to like beat him up at all times.
There was a line later in the movie where Jacob goes, "Stop looking at me like that." And she goes, "Like what?" "Like I'm one of your favorite people in the world." It's like you're gross flirting in front of her husband and her husband's entire family.
It's a cuck. He's fully cucking Edward this whole series.
He doesn't even care. Like, Edward has it so in the bag that none of it matters.
No, he's like, look at this little boy.
He's like, God damn, it's really sad that you love her so much, but I understand why you would love her so much because I love her so much. It is what it is.
I think the difference is Edward is like 700 years old. I think.
Yeah, I'm sure
it comes with age.
Yeah,
he's just so much
very
more mature.
Wise.
Yeah, he's like, I've seen this 1,000 times.
1,000 times.
Yeah, it does kind of. It is sort of lame when you think about this dude is just forever hanging out with teenagers.
Yeah. Listen, Zach,
we don't have to go there. We don't have to go there. Okay,
we don't want to touch that.
Twilight.
We ignore. Remember, we're living in fantasy land.
Yeah. I took us off the sexy time, but she theoretically or assumedly begins to lose her virginity in the ocean. Romantic, but also ouch,
painful.
Yeah,
can confirm.
A lot of
not as hot as it seems.
I was going to ask if you could confirm.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Really?
The like
rough.
Viscousness of salt water
Ouch.
and your fluids not compatible, brothers.
Viscousness of salt water and fluids. It doesn't
mix.
It's grainy.
It's like oil and water.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't mix at all.
It does not mix. It's not as slick as one would think.
Oh.
Yeah. You got to get out.
You got to get out of there.
Yeah. And I don't think that salt water is good for your pH balance. I'm not going to lie.
I assume it's a UTI.
I think most likely. Seashells?
No.
No thanks.
Maybe that's why she was sick. It wasn't the pregnancy.
Yeah, she had algae growing up her walls.
It was Aquaman. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was Jason Momoa in there. Yeah.
Walls.
It was. It's also very. That moment feels very weird. The same way when they went to Rome for the first time. Like this.
Oh, they go to Rio de Janeiro.
They go to
Yeah,
Brazil.
I'm like. Vampires in the islands just seems weird. Like it seems so fish out of water.
Yeah. Also, what the fuck happened to him sparkling in the sun?
I was waiting.
It was gone. This entire fucking.
Yeah.
I was like, oh damn, that's crazy that he's just gonna be outside this whole time.
Yeah.
And then he was, and no sparkles.
I did see when they were like waterfall jumping. They weren't like. It looked like it was a cloudy day.
Yeah,
it wasn't direct sunlight.
But they're like playing chess on the beach.
I think people gave them enough shit about that sparkly skin. You guys, I genuinely think that they were like,
and they're just
that's
like,
stupid and it looks bad.
Let's just take it out.
Insane.
I think they took it out.
Jaw drop from me over here. I didn't even
nuts.
realize.
I was upset because it was like, okay, so you're changing a lot of lore here.
Listen, just like ogre's skin, we don't know what happens in a vampire's transitions.
When he's in love, he doesn't sparkle anymore.
I don't know.
When he gets married,
maybe when you eat pineapple or something.
The whole reason why they're in Seattle is because it's overcast.
Right.
Yeah, maybe Rio de Janeiro really be cloudy. Hey, if you live in Rio de Janeiro,
is it cloudy?
Look
they should have
outside.
taken a trip to like London.
Is it the Portland of South America? I actually am going to detour us for 1 second because I think we should talk about our boy Robbie Pats for a second.
Oh, God. Batman
were they
himself.
still together in this one?
I don't know.
I want to say they were, and for my sake, I'm going to say they were.
Because they were necking.
There are so many awkward moments. Like, we know our girl is queen of biting her lip. We know he is king of like breathing.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like I believed it the most in this film. His acting.
Yeah.
He felt the most comfortably Edward here.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say about him in this movie. I just love where we're at in this moment of time culture with Robert Pattinson. He's obviously Batman.
Yeah.
He's about to be the star of a Bong Joon-ho movie. We got Mickey 17 coming out.
Oh, that's
like,
gonna rip.
And what's he was just in Korea talking about how now he has male fans. And it's really weird. Like the dudes, the people who are stoked to see him are the movie bro dudes. Who are like, you're Christopher Nolan's dude. You're Batman.
How does he feel about
You're
it?
Bong Joon-ho's guy. And he's like, this is different.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just, he's had such a crazy cycle. And you talk about how this movie was ridiculed and derided when it came out.
Yeah.
It was derided by the film bros.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To whom he is now their hero.
I love it because I've talked about this before, but if anybody has seen God, I can't fucking.
Here he goes, guys. This is
blank.
what we cut out normally. What movie journey are you going to take us down, young sweet Rick?
Sorry.
No, you can't apologize.
This is who you are.
The first Safdie
Brothers movie
that he was in. Good Times. When he was in Good Times,
I love that movie.
Movie was so good. He rips, and you're just like, oh fuck, Robert Pattinson is a pristine actor.
Oh yeah.
And then he got cast as Bruce Wayne in Batman. And everybody was up in arms, losing their mind.
Mm-hmm.
And myself and my buddy Sean Leary was like, I think that we should defend this man because he is fantastic.
Yes.
He's going to be great.
And he had Tenet in between, right?
Yeah. And wait. Yeah.
He's like one of very few actors that I feel like has done that, where it's gone from like heartthrob, teeny bopper to full serial actor.
But I think it's really cool that he acted his way out of that. Like, I think it's amazing that it was just talent. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to be a bad boy and all of this shit, or I'm going to like do something so aggressively against type that everybody just equates my career to this moment. It was just him choosing roles that were so like, I guess just like good for the actor's soul, let's say.
Weird. Wait, so we have forgiven Robert Pattinson for Twilight as a society.
Oh, I think the society. I mean, I don't think there's anything to forgive.
Oh, fair.
But I do think society absolutely is like, they have come full circle on him.
He's an actor.
Yeah. No, it is
an actor.
It's weird to say, like, the power of a good agent too.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. You never give an agent credit, but they guided that
good
fucking
agent.
career.
Yeah, because they were
good manager.
Good manager, maybe, because they were probably like, hey man, if you don't want to be seen as this teeny bopper guy, you got to do like
work.
You got to like do these weird little like indie movies for like a little while.
And do you think, do we credit Softy Brothers for bringing him, like giving him that chance to prove his?
I would say so.
Yeah.
That movie rips.
That movie rips.
I want to give a quick shout out also to My Pleasure, which is Robert Pattinson's wife, or I think wife, or at least Suki Waterhouse. It's just my favorite album of the year. I love her so much.
She is
favorite album of last year.
So hot.
I like her
Waterhouse.
music.
Wow.
I like the way she looks and her music. Do you not know her?
No.
She's fucking so good.
Oh.
She's
like legend. She's like music royalty to people, I would say.
So Bella gets pregnant.
Yeah, she does.
Right away.
Okay, so she gets pregnant and she gets super pregnant. And it's like, oh, this baby, I don't know if this movie takes place over the course of weeks.
No, 12 days since the wedding.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
You don't remember that moment where she goes...
Right, but like how long is the whole pregnancy?
Oh, I think very quick.
Yeah.
A couple months.
So she is...
Maybe.
She has basically a demon spawn. It's like a vampire baby that is...
Vampire human baby?
It's a half-C.
Yeah.
And because it thirsts for blood, it is sucking the life force out of her.
Yeah.
And so...
Because she's only human.
We've talked a lot.
Oh, you're going to hate this.
Oh, God.
How long?
It's a week.
28 days. 28 days since a demon babe.
So it's 28
really
days
good.
later.
She's 28 days pregnant.
Really
That's
good.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Most of this movie is Bella withering away.
Yeah.
Looking awful.
And I'm not going to lie, it's a trope that a lot of movies and books and shows have taken from. I don't know if they're the ones that created it. Can you name a movie where baby killing mother from inside out existed?
Sort of Rosemary's Baby.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Fair. But like Akatar,
Oh, does it?
I don't know if that's a spoiler, but it's a very big thing that now they do.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, like, it sucks to watch.
Mother sacrifice, but knows baby. As the only person in this room who's been pregnant before, I can tell you, I was like, I have zero connection to this. I'm tapping in, trying to listen. Are you telling me anything? Can we connect? Can I hear you a little bit? Nope, not at all. And she's feeling this motherfucker kick
Yeah.
Early.
a day, an hour into being pregnant.
She thought it was chicken, which was
Bad
hilarious.
chicken.
She thought it was bad chicken.
Oh, that scene where she's pulling the chicken apart. And I was just like, oh, even that makes me kind of want to yak.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that confuses me is I believe pretty strongly that this is a pro-abstinence movie. Stephanie Meyer is Mormon?
Sure.
I think. And clearly does not believe in premarital sex.
Mhm.
Also, there's like this thing where one of the Cullens keeps calling it a fetus and the other one keeps saying baby. So like there's like these pro-life overtones throughout the thing. Like very coded by her religion.
When they find out that she's pregnant and Edward is like, I'm going to go get...
Schmortion.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to go get him to get rid of it. And then she's like, it? I was like, okay.
Jesus.
But what's
All
confusing is that they have sex after being married. But I think that by like the semiotics of the movie, that her not... It's like for them to actually be married, she has to be a vampire.
Okay.
Right? So it almost is coded as premarital sex.
Oh, and look what happens when you have premarital
This
sex.
is what happens.
Even though
you're going to die.
It's like in Mean Girls.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's literally the speech from Mean Girls.
Zach.
Now, even though it's explicitly post-marital sex, the movie still is like...
Don't do it.
Yeah. Don't even
Don't
get
you
married
put that
young
there.
to have sex.
Careful
Sex is
with your
bad.
diddly dods and your no-no holes.
Yeah.
Save yourself for JC.
For JC, for Jesus Christ.
That's the name of my first cat because I was so obsessed with church as a child.
Diddly
Really?
holes?
JC.
JC.
That was
that's
short for
so
Jesus
funny.
Christ.
Wait, you were obsessed with church?
Zach, I went through a phase. Me and Rick were both indoctrinated
Jesus.
by Baptist.
How old are we
babies.
talking?
Like under 10, probably.
Mm.
I was on the Bible quizzing team. I was like a state champ of Bible
You
quotes.
loved... How far you fallen?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like a bit now.
Yeah.
Like I wear like a
This is
cross earring because
This
it's
is
like
what
a joke.
happens
Yeah.
for all the Jesus kids.
Yes.
Is that they fall so far from Jesus.
So far from grace, as they say in the
so far from
church.
grace.
Wow.
I strayed from him,
You
capital H.
strayed. Straight.
Not to be confused with her.
I think it's Los
singer.
Angeles that did it to you. The hellscape that it is.
Well, listen, I was born where I was born. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
West Coast for life.
West Coast.
Anyway.
I'll have to unpack that at a later date.
At a later date.
It's nice to still be learning about each other.
Yeah.
After all these years.
It's a slog to watch.
Yeah.
It is. I think the movie.
What'd you call me?
Call me a slog?
What a funny word.
The movie, I think, makes up for it in the climax with some of the most breathtaking moments in cinema that I've ever seen. But
with the baby?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was nuts.
But 80% of this movie is so tedious.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I hated watching it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And then I loved it.
Okay.
But watching Bella wither away, I'm just like,
yeah.
Yeah. They
Come
had
on,
to
man.
sideline her
Yeah.
pretty hard for it to be Jacob's movie, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point. He really needed to step in a time of need for her.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Jacob.
They really needed to explain the imprinting to the point where it was an entire scene of the movie where it's just like, oh yeah, imprinting is like a huge deal for.
And now it explains why they're so close.
So before we get there, let's talk about Jacob, because this is like this is his movie about like
him
becoming the
a
alpha.
lone wolf.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
That was good. That was a lone wolf.
You get him with his shirt off 5 seconds into the movie
baby.
in the rain.
Yep.
What I thought was one of the most insane scenes that we've seen in the franchise is you have Jacob's like big emotional break from the family.
Mm-hmm.
He's going first going head to head with the alpha.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the fact that all these dork wolves have names,
real names,
and they call them by names, it's like, get out of here, Sam. Leave me alone, Seth. It's like, what? They're wolves, dude.
Yeah. They should have like a woo noise names. Like some kind of like bark or whatever. Or something more
wolfy.
I don't know if
something
wolfy.
more
Badass.
native, I guess.
Yes.
It would have been way cooler than fucking Sam.
Don't call a wolf Seth.
Don't call a wolf
Seth went
a
to
white guy in Brooklyn,
or like went to my Hebrew school and I cheated off his homework.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah. Sucks.
Seth stole his older brother's porn and brought it to like behind the bleachers to show everyone.
Seth is Seth Cohen from the OC for a millennia of people. So it's a confusing feeling.
There you go.
But you have like the most dramatic scene that we've had for Jacob in this entire franchise.
Yeah.
And it is depicted fully while they are CGI wolves with reverb. And I just couldn't stop thinking, oh, they didn't trust our boy to pull off the emotional gravitas of this scene.
Oh, I don't think so. I think he was pulling it off the entire movie.
I think that was
I think
the
he
book.
had. Yeah, I feel like
wolves in that. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it was more impactful to see an alpha step up
as a
wolf.
Yeah.
Rather than, because if you saw it the other way, I feel like it would be
less
a cop out.
Yeah,
like it would be them being like, okay, so we hit budget in this movie, and so we can't do the main.
It's like petty fighting versus like, I'm gonna rip your throat out, dog.
Right. It was like there was like actual danger there.
They're scary
looking.
They are scary.
They're big too. They're not little wolves. They're like
they're
big wolves. Big, like dire wolves.
Size.
Yeah,
bigger than dire wolves.
Really now?
Yeah, dire wolves are like half human size.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
My wolf gauge size is off today.
I just wish they were actual werewolves. I was saying this while I was watching it. I was like, just have them stand up, man.
That and the reverb made me LOL.
The reverb is just like, oh, look at these inner thoughts of these kids. Cool, man.
Well, right, because we never see their doggy mouths don't move.
Yeah.
They just
it would be too Garfield of
so
them.
are they reading each other's minds?
I thought so.
Yeah, they are. They talk via brain.
No way.
Yes, they're a pack, brother.
Yeah. When you're in the pack, you can read the other.
That's how you talk.
Yeah,
how do you think animals
they're
talk?
a pack, brother.
Yeah.
You know how dogs read each other's minds?
Well, dogs, they communicate via telepathically.
No, they communicate via body language.
And they look and they talk with their brains.
That never occurred to me that's what they were trying to do in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I just mean in this movie and in life, that's how dogs talk to each other. They are saying sentences in their brains across the ether sphere to each other.
So what kind of stuff is Hippo saying?
Not much.
Yeah.
He ain't got much space.
He's saying
there.
bite, 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 bite.
He's saying
it's the monkey
food.
with the symbols.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. A lot of mished potatoes up there.
I'm just chronologically going through my notes. Bella, never let her name your child.
No. God.
EJ is what it would have been as a boy.
EJ?
For Edward Jacob.
Yeah.
There's not even any nuance to that.
No,
it's Renesmee.
Renesmee was the girl.
And the internet was ablaze.
Yeah.
When this book came out, the Tumblr girlies, I mean, I can't remember if social media was, maybe it was still MySpace or
Tumblr
Facebook.
Was probably a big thing.
But like people were losing they could be the biggest fan of this franchise. We were like driven to consume this content. And even those girls were fucking pissed.
Really?
They were pissed.
At the name Renesmee.
Really?
So did the book say at all have like that scene of them being like, these are stupid names? Or
not a single person.
Like
everyone was like, oh my God, that's so thoughtful and beautiful. We can't believe it. And people were pissed. And I think some girls maybe even named their babies Renesmee.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
Like
they
Hermione.
don't care.
Like they did it. But people were pissed.
Such a funny name. When is, I know that the Loch Ness Monster thing happens in the next movie.
The Loch Ness Monster?
All right, we'll get there when we get there. I thought
what do you mean by that?
There's a line that's like, you named my baby after the Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
But that's not Renesmee.
Nessie.
Right. Okay, yeah. Good stuff.
It's bad. It's a bad nickname.
Nessie is
her nickname. That's what they call her in the book.
She's a baby.
Oh my God.
I can just picture we reenacted it once, so I can hear Keith doing it
Really?
as Bella in my head, and it's so good.
You name my... Sorry.
Yeah.
She's a baby. Like that's the fuel that's keeping me going. As I was watching Bella wither away, I'm just like, Renesmee's coming.
Yeah.
I'll just say it. I gasped twice during this movie.
Yeah.
First when she went into labor.
That was nuts.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then of
Alien
course,
who?
finally seeing Renesmee. But let's talk about both of them. Because I think they are both like...
That sequence was...
birth.
Yeah.
They said graphic.
Yeah.
They said real.
It was cool. I liked it. I liked that entire sequence. That was a very tense and like true to life sequence of
very
childbirth.
risky.
Very risky. Very Game of Thrones like.
Oh yeah.
So she's like standing there, and there's like she like rides like, and then there's a crunch sound effect.
Yeah,
and
like it's killing her from the inside out.
Fucking visceral. Like I genuinely was.
When she
was
broke
moved.
her spine, I was like, oh shit! Just
Did you know
Bane?
When women have babies, that happens with your butt bone.
Yeah,
your butt bone breaks.
Your butt bone
your
goes,
pelvic bone.
Yeah,
like,
your back
open.
and like your pelvic bone also tilts
like
forward.
Separates.
But like your tailbone is in women, it goes out so that the baby can pass.
Evolution is crazy.
Question for both of you: hypothetically, when you both have babies, are you going to be in the room?
Yeah.
You going to look?
Yeah.
That's more of a maybe.
You're going to look?
Gotta.
You gotta.
Okay, if Garrick says you gotta, then I gotta. I guess I've never thought about it till this moment.
Till right now.
So that you appreciate what.
Yes.
What? Yeah, sure.
I think unless you see it, you don't really fucking know.
Yeah.
But the main reason to be in the room is you are there to support them.
For sure.
Like I don't matter.
No, not at all. But you should witness the miracle of birth close up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like this movie. Like you're witnessing the realities.
It's interesting you say that because like I feel like my experience is secondary to being helpful to their experience.
Yes, but you are also 50% of the reason why.
Let's call it 49.
Yeah.
I just think it's the gift of life. They call it that for a reason. You're gonna fucking take that present.
Yeah.
You look Renesmee in the eye.
Yeah.
And
you look her in the eyes.
They are giving birth in this movie. It is like the baby comes out drenched in blood.
Oh yeah.
Like
that's the
there's
way
so
that,
much blood.
That's the way that Nessie likes it. Apparently.
Yeah, think about it. She craves blood.
She probably loved that shit.
She was like, I ate my way out.
Yeah, I ate my fucking way out, dog.
What's her name?
He cut her with a scalpel, right? Why did he cut so low? I thought he was like cutting her.
I don't know. It was awful to watch.
From the, like,
no, the baby when it's about to be born, it's like it drops. That's what they call it. The baby drops.
Maggie was getting snacks and like kind of walking in and out, and she walked in that scene and just goes, nope.
Absolutely no. Fuck.
Yeah,
nah.
can't do that right now.
No, not eating and watching snacks at the same time.
But yeah, it is grotesque. And then Bella fully dies.
Yes.
And then Edward's like, basically the dramatic question of this movie is, can Edward turn her into a vampire in time? Because he can't turn her into a vampire while the baby's still in there for some reason.
It'd make it super vampire. She was too weak.
Yeah,
she would have died.
She would have died. Sorry. She saw the baby for about 5 minutes before passing away. There was so much time.
Yeah.
And Edward's holding the baby.
And
he's like, hey, can you take this? And someone's like, oh, I'd rather not.
I'd rather not. I can't do this. And then also she has a fucking gaping wound.
She's bleeding out on the table.
She's bleeding out on the table.
They're like, let's speed up the process. Let's get her drained.
I was losing my mind. I was like, she's going to die. She's about to die. Get that fucking stupid syringe full of silver mercury or whatever the fuck it is. Put it in her chest right now. Don't wait until she's dead for dramatic effect.
It also, I feel like Edward hated this baby up until the moment it was out. Because it was like, you're making me choose to let my wife die over this baby. And then suddenly it was like, Bella who?
It was just such a up and back. It was so back and forth where like I couldn't track why she wanted to stay a human being to give birth, but also the entire time she wanted to stay she wanted to become a vampire. She knew
how strong she was. She was the only one who believed in herself. Everyone else was like, you're so frail and weak boned.
But like,
bitch, look at her.
You bite your lips every time you're cold, girl.
He was literally offering her the chance to become the thing that she has been asking him to do for the 3 movies now, right?
Yeah, but no one planned this.
Yeah.
Rick, no one planned this pregnancy.
There's probably a whole reason behind it, and people are gonna talk about it in the comments and yell at me and say, "Well, this is," but I don't fucking. It's dumb.
I also then watching Edward, like, so he shoots the vial of silver goo into her chest, and then like vampire bites her all over. And I don't know if
that was unnecessary.
I don't like. It felt like maybe it was supposed to be romantic or like sexy, but I was like, oh, this is grotesque. The whole thing was.
You're draining her. You're giving her holes, man.
I'm just thinking about the target demo of this franchise and how graphic and grotesque this scene was.
No one was turned on.
It was a lot. It was a lot. Even like seeing her when they first revealed that she's pregnant, seeing her that gaunt, I was like, oh, they're really kind of going for this, huh?
Yeah, they went there. It was
that's
shocking.
Somebody's daughter. That's nobody wants to see their daughter just dead on a table, just dried out.
And that's acting. That is the art of acting.
Yeah.
Good makeup and hair.
It was also funny though watching her come back to life, and when she did come back to life, she was also wearing makeup.
Yeah, she was stunning.
Yeah,
she was facetuned to the eyeshadow. Gods.
Yeah,
she was the hottest we've ever seen her. And that's the thing about vampires is that they
come back hot.
Yeah, they come back elite. Like remember when you see the Cullens for the first time? Oh, they were locked and loaded.
They do the muling thing or. Have you not seen
Mewing.
Well, now we must talk about the greatest moment in cinema history. And honestly, apologies, dear audience, for edging you for this amount of time.
I'm not. I enjoyed it.
We get to see Jacob meet CGI Baby.
Big eyes.
Renesmee.
The biggest fucking eyes I've ever seen on a baby.
So first, like, the scene is hilarious because it's just this... The CGI Baby on its own.
Why?
So
why?
I'll tell you why. Because this CGI Baby then turns and makes eye contact at Jacob. And that made me shit myself laughing.
Oh, man.
It was like Baby Grinch.
Oh, it was Baby Grinch.
It was like big eyes, and it was like very uncanny valley. I was like, why? But why?
Like animatronic almost.
Because it's half vampire. They wanted it to be...
It's supposed to be sexy.
No.
It's supposed to be the most beautiful baby that's ever... It's a vampire. baby.
Says who?
The book. It's literally supposed to be the sexiest, most beautiful baby.
It's a sexy baby.
It's a beautiful,
oh my God.
Because there hasn't been a vampire baby.
This baby is so sexy that woven pedophilia is fine.
Yes,
That's
duh.
I know you're going to cut that, Rainie, but I don't. It's nuts. That's nuts. Why is that the case?
Okay. So this imprinting scene, Jacob comes into the room fully intending, he thinks Bella's dead at this point. He walks into this room to say, I am going to kill this baby.
Yeah.
And then the baby, which is CGI baby cringe baby, makes eye contact.
Yes.
And there's this sound effect of like, oh.
Yeah, like the whole world stops.
Yeah.
Jacob.
It's only them.
He like is like hit. You know what it is? It's like in Zoolander when he does blue steel.
And
the baby hits Jacob and Jacob is stunned.
Yeah.
He's breathless. He falls to his knees at the sight of this beautiful baby, and her entire life flashes before his eyes.
Yeah.
Where he sees this CGI, like this beautiful little girl becomes a beautiful teen. And then it's very avant-garde editing, very music video with the like they just basically Bill Condon, the director, just gave it to the editor and said, hey man, I don't know what to do. Just cook.
Yeah.
But he says, I'll be whatever you need. A friend, a brother. Which they make sure to say brother because they don't want people to think that he wants to fuck that baby.
Yeah.
But apparently in the book,
it's lovers.
No way, is it?
Oh yeah. Do you not know this?
I wasn't sure.
Nuts.
That's the love of his life.
Yeah, absolutely fuck
that
this.
Is unacceptable.
He imprints on a baby. That's
he
the
imprints
whole
on a baby.
That's the
so
whole
crazy.
and that explains why. Okay, guys, I'm so glad I'm the one that gets to break this news.
Please,
that's why they have this weird friendship, is because he feels in her DNA a closeness, and people were like, what, can he feel her fucking eggs in her ovaries?
Yeah.
He feels a connection to her in a way that they can't explain.
Dogs
that's
can
otherworldly.
Yeah.
They can. And that's why he's like, oh, I've been chemically attracted actually to the egg inside of you. I didn't ever love you, Bella. I loved the egg inside of you.
What a weird retcon.
Absolutely fuck this franchise.
It is so fucked because it's like, okay, so I'm going to write this book, right? And I don't want the two male leads to be fighting each other. I want them to be actually friends. And the thing
also, sex is sin. That's just going to be part of the book.
But sex is sin. Sex is sin. But you know what's not sin? Little kids.
Look at that sexy baby.
Loving those sexy little kids.
Honestly, it really does make me LOL
You're correct.
the most of the way to resolve conflict between them. Yeah. Because now I cannot fucking wait for you guys to watch the next one.
I'm so excited.
Because the way now, think about it. Imprinting, like you don't control that. That's out of everyone's hands.
Yeah. Now he's just obsessed with like holding the baby and looking at the baby.
That's your soulmate, and you will do anything to protect that baby. But guess what? Where that is.
Yeah, and I started with this quote, and it's so funny. But Edward saying it's their most absolute law is such a stupid, incredible line.
It's so dumb and it's so weird because also like. That's how they stop the wolves from coming.
How else would you know? How else would you solve this conflict, Mr. Screenwriter Hollywood man?
I just wouldn't
solve that problem. Remember when we used to have
that as a conflict. Like whatever
She's
happened.
written herself this far.
No, you have this whole scene where he stands up to the alpha. Why the fuck doesn't he just become the alpha?
That's what I thought.
Why didn't he fight him and be like, "We're not doing this, bro. Like I'm going to take your spot, and
look
then you're
at me. I am the captain now.
I'm the captain now
because he doesn't care. Nothing else matters but Renesmee. Nessie.
That is so.
We're dunking on it,
wild.
But I genuinely like watching the entire franchise was worth it to get to that scene.
Yeah,
it. Usually like when you're watching these alone, it's the energy's different, right? That was full. If I had a drink in my mouth, I would have spit it out.
Yeah.
I laughed. I rewinded.
You didn't. You didn't know?
I didn't.
You didn't even suspect?
No, I know that he imprints, but I didn't know how it happened.
Oh.
And so it was like I gasped. I laughed.
You just had to look that sexy ass baby in the eyes.
And you didn't know either?
Yeah, I knew.
Oh, you knew. I was going to say it's kind of been like a meme. It's been part of the culture.
I didn't know about the CGI-ness of it.
Oh yeah.
How are you going to hire a real baby to come out bloody
and to be the most beautiful baby of all
and
time.
to be the most bloody, beautiful baby.
And the most bloody.
And the most bloody.
That thing a vampire.
That was it was a bloody, beautiful baby.
Yeah.
But why would you hire the baby and then not use the same baby?
Do you think that baby can give that look like that?
It doesn't matter. Do you want
baby actor?
Okay, what would you rather?
Masterclass?
What would you rather though? The realness of just a baby.
I can't take away what this is given to us as a CGI gift.
Maybe CGI like the reds of her eyes so that you see that, you know, it was like different or whatever.
Yeah.
Or would you rather this fucking baby Grinch shit?
I want the baby Grinch.
I want the baby Grinch.
We want the baby Grinch.
I want that baby Grinch.
Because of chaos's sake.
Yeah.
But like for actual, I don't know, filmmaking sake, art.
And now we hold a standard to this film franchise. Got it.
Once again,
this is too far.
Once again, technology's taken away jobs from hardworking babies, and I won't stand for it.
Maybe they couldn't find a baby pretty enough.
Put the babies back to work.
Yeah, put the babies.
There's a baby
back
Quit
to work.
stealing jobs from these babies.
I'm just saying.
God.
Hollywood.
The Gerber baby's gonna be a fucking AI thing now.
The Gerber baby is Kaya Gerber. She's all grown up.
We gotta wrap this one up.
She's
but
an Instagram model now.
No kidding.
Do you guys not know this?
Okay, moving on. We gotta wrap this one up, but we end this movie seeing Bella, red eyes open. She's a vampire now.
Finally.
And dude, I'm absolutely stoked.
Yeah. What a good ending. Just that.
Yeah. I'm sure that got the people wet.
Oh, we were ready.
Yeah. I got
we were slick.
Everybody was like leaving the theater. Like that movie was weird, but
that ending though.
I'll be here for part 2.
Yeah.
There was a lot to talk about.
Now we must decide, is this movie a pleasure, a guilty pleasure, or just plain guilty? And as I said that, I don't know.
What?
Oh, wow. I think that this entire I don't know. I don't remember what I've given any of the other ones. But I'm pretty sure they should all be guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
I'm just going to blanket all of them and say this entire franchise is a guilty pleasure because it is so popular and because you now have, by watching it, like social cachet and like social quotes and all of that stuff, even though the movies aren't technically good.
You gave us so much with this.
Yeah.
Like we got wedding, we got sex, we got baby, we got imprint. Like there is so much meme material that came from this. And I genuinely think that this might have been like one of the movies you pitched to me when pitching this podcast.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure we talked about the Twilight series and like this one to me is the penultimate because part 2 somehow I think will blow your mind even more.
No way.
But to me, this is quintessential guilty pleasure, especially as someone who came from the books. I was like, I gotta see how they're gonna do.
Yeah.
I gotta see how they're gonna
nuts.
make this happen.
I mean, this is also like, I think a prime example of how hard it is to land the plane, whether it is in movies.
That's a specific reference for right now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Sorry.
They can't land a plane to save their life. Anyway.
Whatever Pete Buttigieg was doing, we did not give him enough credit.
We did not give him enough credit. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, I just think that it's really hard to nail like third acts. And I think in books as well, where it's like, okay, so how am I going to wrap this up? There's a lot of stuff that I have to like kind of tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of threw a lot at the wall.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different weird choices. Clearly, by the imprinting, some choices were made.
Yeah,
choices were made.
It was very much first answer, best answer.
Yeah. First thought, worst thought, and put it to print.
Yeah.
This movie is meandering.
Yeah,
it has pro-life and it has pro-life overtones in a way that makes me uncomfortable. The whole franchise has religious overtones in a way that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it is the guiltiest of the series.
Thus far.
It is both in the choices it makes and frankly, again, how much of a chore it is to watch at times.
Yeah. Wow.
That said, I gasped.
Yeah.
I was emotionally moved.
Okay.
And I do believe that the imprinting scene is the finest cinema that you could ever ask for.
Thank you.
It's megalopolis levels of cinematic execution. And that only worked. Like, I was genuinely emotionally moved in a way that I shouldn't have been.
Didn't ask for.
But for that, I must guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I will genuinely never forget the way that I felt during that scene.
Okay.
Good. And that, Zachary, is why we watch movies. For better or for worse, for guilty or pleasured, that is why we watch the cinema.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. We'll see you next week. I'm at Corn Day and all things.
I'm at Kelsey Darragh on all the things.
I'm Garrick Bernard on all the things.
Yeah, you are.
And until next time,
Ooh.
Bella, where you been, Loca?